From the many realms of Atheris to the distant reaches of the 13th via the magic of podcasting, this is episode 39 of A Podcast Reborn, a show celebrating our journey in the past, present, and this time very much so our possible future in Final Fantasy XIV. This episode is being recorded on Sunday, July 16th, 2023. My name is Brian Black, otherwise known as Ro, and this is not your usual episode. Final Fantasy Fan Festival 2023, at least in Las Vegas, is just a couple of weeks away, and we're going to do something very, very different. So, before I introduce my usual co-hosts, let me introduce the not one, not two, but three guests that I have with us today. All of these people have been on the show before, and we are very happy to have them back. First off, we have role player and venue owner extraordinaire, Sera. Welcome back to the show, Sera.
Hey, welcome back. It's been a while. I missed you guys.
I have missed you too. It is good to hear your voice back on this podcast. I am looking forward to the predictions that you will be making today.
I am very excited. I am curious to the questions that I'll be posed and give my thoughts on what it will be.
Next up, we have the best Lalafell laundress on the Coral server, guaranteed unless she rolls a nat 1. Hi, Zim.
Well, hello. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I was doing well until you brought up the nat 1. Thank you.
Hey, Brandon can't be the only one that I give a little beef to. Also with us, practically the fourth co-host, some would say sometimes here, someone we can all be envious of in 2 weeks when he's fondly caressing his squishable Endwalker grapes from his FanFest goodie bag. Hi, Ward.
It's so good. They're just like perfectly squeezable. I can see myself just the fingers sinking in. You remember the grapes that were.
I'm jealous now. I want these grapes.
Remember them. Remember that they once rendered.
Remember the grapes that once were.
God.
Oh, and of course, my two wonderful co-hosts. First off, a VTuber, Mikote Cat Mom of Two, who would love a static to just be static, you know. Hi, Megan.
Hi, we're actually we're going to be raiding tonight with a new static because our old static fell apart. We still hang out and play other games with our old static, like Golf with Friends.
Hey, that's a good game.
Wow, that is a change from like Hard Savage to golf.
we turned on collisions, so now it's golf PvP.
Yeah, I was going to say, depending on what settings you have in that game, it's very much worse than Savage.
And of course, that last voice, our resident old man, who is a year older since the last time he was on this podcast. I guess that explains why he forgot to be here for episode 38. Hi, Brandon.
Hi, I'm sorry. There was a lot going on 4th of July weekend, and I completely forgot that I was supposed to also record this podcast. I apologize. I'm so sorry. But in other news, did you guys hear that going forward, all fending chess pieces are going to have no sleeves? Yeah, they want them all wearing tank tops.
It just exposes my skin. You know, the weather's getting hotter. Gotta start stripping the armor.
Walk right in that one.
Tank tops. Good job.
Boy, what about tank bottoms?
Yeah, that's for the After Dark episode of this podcast.
Are all okay? Wait. Well, here's the real question: are all tanks tops?
I'll leave that to you guys to decide.
Think about it.
I mean, without digging too deep, I'm going to say absolutely no.
Yeah, I would say
it's true.
If Grahatia could be a tank, there are.
No,
there are some
it's
in
true.
Yeah.
Graha is the most bottom of all, but yeah, and they also enjoy getting hit. So
There's that too.
They could at least take it.
If you're always taking busters, I think.
Right in the face.
If you're getting busted, you're getting busted on.
Right in the face.
Yeah.
Well, like
and
the
you always like to have
always...
your face in someone else's crotch, and
Yeah, man.
Oh God!
This escalated quickly.
Clearly, the DPS are the tops because we're always, up the butt.
Well, you know what the bards of old like to say: "Bustin' makes me feel good."
Oh.
Brandon, go home.
I am home. Where do
All
you
right.
think my mic sits?
So, a little thing about what we're doing here today. Today, we are going to ask questions and give answers and make predictions about what the heck we are going to learn during FanFest in the next couple weeks. Now, what I did was I had each of the people participating come up with 2 questions. We also have another friend of the show, Tetsemi, who has been on the show before. He wasn't feeling too great, so he couldn't be on to record the show, but he did come up with 2 questions, and he did give me his answers for these questions, which I will be reading when it gets to his part. And we each came up with 2 questions. I generally ask for the questions to be either yes or no questions or questions that could end in a number, although a couple of them are going to stray off from that path. When
I'm bad at following directions. I'm sorry.
When I assigned these questions, I had no idea what kind of questions we were going to get. I can tell you that some of these questions have a little bit of overlap with others, and there are some questions that you would think we should obviously be covering that we're not going to cover. And there are going to be some questions that you hear today that you're going to wonder, what the fuck am I listening to?
Wonderful.
So be warned, this is not your typical FanFest prediction show, but would you expect any less? So this is how it's going to work. I have a general order for how we're going to go through this. And when we tackle the question, whoever came up with the question is going to have the opportunity to answer it last. So I figured it gives them an advantage. They came up with the question so they can hear what everyone else has said and then decide if they should agree with what someone else has said or come up with something that no one else thought of. With that said, I think I'm just ready to dive into these things. We have 14 questions and a tiebreaker to get through. This show's going to be a bit of a long one, probably going to go about 2 hours. If we have a little time, we will, of course, talk about 6.4.5, which is coming out practically around the time that you are listening to this podcast. So don't worry. I'm well aware. I'm very hyped about that as well. But Sarah,
Yes.
your question, one of your questions is first, and I will, of course, give you the opportunity to answer it last. But your first question for all of us is, what class will the Warrior of Light be for 7.0? So far, he's been a Paladin, Dragoon, Warrior, Monk, and Dark Knight. I'm going to start off the answers, and there's going to be a similar order for all of these. You'll kind of see how I do it. Ward, you get to answer this first.
Ooh. Yeah, so I have to think, because I feel like we definitely haven't seen the Warrior of Light play any sort of like caster or healing classes.
That's true.
So I don't know if I could see though. I could see Meteor as like a caster. So where's that leave left? Oh gosh.
I haven't answered that.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess we're gonna go. Ooh. Oh,
You gotta pick, dude.
I know.
Don't make Ward go first.
I know that's the problem. I'm the slowest of the 7.
Twice.
I'm the slowest of the 7, which is why I'm just gonna have to stick with Ninja. I'm gonna go with Ninja because I feel like if we're gonna do something, it's gonna be off the rails because I have no idea what this next expansion is gonna be. Ninja's always that one class is like wait. Ninja's a class you can start out with? Well, no, Ninja's not a class you can start out with, but you can start at level 10. So it's always that like that weird.
Throw you back into Stormblood.
I know. It's that weird place. That weird place. I'm gonna go with Ninja.
Ninja, all right. Zim, how about you?
I mean, if Ward wants to go weird, you can't get any weirder than blue.
Oh.
So I'm going blue.
That is a dark horse pick. I mean, we're getting a little closer to Blue Mage being relevant with 645, but yeah, that would be surprising for sure.
What if we go to the New World and we find the real blue mages?
Or the Wakili, I think they're called.
Yeah. We learn how, and it becomes like an actual class. We actually learn.
You heard it.
No idea
Actual
how you
class.
balance that.
I'm hurt.
I have no idea how you balance that.
It's a legit class. It's my favorite.
It's very limited. It's very limited.
I did put Tetsemi in order after Zim for these answers. So Tetsemi's answer is actually Reaper, doing a callback to Endwalker. Next up is Brandon.
All right, so follow me along with this. He's been multiple melee jobs, and that freaking Sin Eater in the Shadowbringers trailer shattered multiple weapons of his. So I say the Warrior of Light's been through 2 wars, getting pulled into another world and solving its problems, and then averting the crisis to end all worlds. I say he's sick of this crap and is just going to pull out a gun and pop a cap in someone. It's machines.
Oh. So you're telling me that, being able to do magic and all that stuff, kind of like pulling him itself, he's a sorcerer of Eld, and he pulls out the gun and shoots the Exarch.
Add enough of this garbage. Gun time.
Absolutely my thought. Thanks, Sarah.
Megan, your time.
I'm thinking that he's going to want to go traveling and keep a low profile, so I think he might go around as a traveling bard. Especially if he's traveling in the new world and he's like learning new stories and spreading stories from Eorzea and stuff, and like getting to know people. Yeah, I would love to see Meteor as a dancer, but I don't think that's going to happen. That would be the greatest trailer ever. Just imagine, like, it's like the moon, and then all of a sudden, just like little tambourine.
Oh my god!
No. There is a strike a pose, like, oh my god!
How
belly shirt on?
How bad would the reaction be if, for the very first time, the prototypical character, Meteor, whatever you want to call him, is no longer a dude? Now he's a girl. It's a female Midlander.
It would be pretty hilarious. I think everybody would be super confused.
I would think it was fantastic, but someone's going to get mad about that.
What they should do is show him drink a Fantasia and just like...
Oh.
Oh my. You know what? Considering the Warrior of Light can really be anybody, if they did a change and had the Warrior of Light for that trailer be female, I mean, go for it.
I feel like they should have been doing that from the beginning if they were going to do it. Like, it would be cool.
The poster boy.
Yeah, he is the poster boy. I think it would be cool if, like, every trailer they had changed the Warrior of Light into something else. Then it would have been, like, a theme, But I feel like we're stuck. We're stuck with Meteor. We're stuck with Midlander. We're stuck with Light Yagami here.
We're stuck with generic Arbor clone 6.0.
What if they let Zero do a job change and make Zero the trailer main character?
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Can she be a dancer too? Wow.
She's like dancing with that super deadpan face. She's like,
I actually think that it is time for a caster. And I think that Meteor should live up to his namesake and put on that Black Mage hat. I think especially if there is a chance that we're traveling to a very different world, and Black Mage hat kind of lets you cover a lot of your face, go a little bit incognito. I think if there was ever a time for that kind of mysterious look for the Warrior of Light, wearing that Black Mage hat, now is a pretty damn good time. So I find it interesting so far that 6 of us have each chosen a different job that has not been featured, and no one's picked the same one. So now I'm curious, Sarah, are you going to pick one of these, or do you have a different one of your own?
As for me, for my answer... I do agree along the lines that it could be a caster Warrior of Light this time around, but I'm actually going to say Summoner.
Ooh.
So the reason why I think Summoner and all that stuff is because it's like, not only will we be possibly exploring the Void, but also we're probably going to be having new areas in which to explore Eorzea, and I think one of the places that we're going to end up exploring is Mericidia. And it's deep within the history and all that stuff, and it's like summoners, they hail from Alec, and Alec has a long and complex history with the dragons and stuff like that. So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if something was kind of more or less like employed with that sort of thing, because it's like, we still have to deal with Golbez, save Ajdaya. And it's like, aside from Black Mage, which like they delve deep into like Void stuff that we saw with like Void Arc. I think Summoner would also be kind of more or less a good thing as well, and it also can shows like off the Warrior Light skills, especially since level 90 can basically summon like their small versions of primals.
Yeah,
right. And then there's all the other summons that you get to see during the Summoner quest chain that all have to do with Mirror City. So that'd be cool too.
Yeah, also, I feel like full-blown Summoner is one of the only classes that, like, only the Warrior of Light can do. Because, like, they're the only one that has gone through and experienced all these different primals. Although now that they know real summoning, maybe we'll see a whole blossoming of new summoning stuff happening.
Yeah?
Because you don't have to survive tempering to, like, experience the primal ethers anymore.
Oh, yeah.
True. All right.
Where's our squad? Call the squad.
One thing I had forgotten to mention is like how I'm doing scoring for this thing. Yes or no questions are worth 2 points if you get it right. Number guessing questions, 3 points if you get exactly right. Closest person, if it's not right, gets 2 points, and the next closest person gets 1 point. And questions like this one, where it's pretty much just an answer, if you get the answer perfectly, it's 3 points, and if you're close, it's 1 point. So for me, close would be if you're in the right role, you get 1 point, and if you get the right class, it's 3 points. So we'll see. If it's a caster, anyone who chose a caster will get 1 point, or 3 if they chose the right one. It'll be really funny if they pull Shadowbringers and it ends up being the new class. I think Shadowbringers is the only one where the first trailer showed the new class, right? Because was it Stormblood?
No, we had Dark Knights already.
Dark Knight's already, but I think
Yeah.
Stormblood, I can't
Dark
remember if
Knight
he was
was
originally a samurai in the original teaser. I know he was
No,
not
he
a
wasn't.
samurai in the trailer.
Yeah, he's a samurai in the trailer, but he wasn't in the teaser. The teaser, he was a monk.
That's right.
Yeah.
Jewel of Fleece.
Yeah,
I
and
keep thinking
Shadowbringers
Dark
is a
Knight. Yeah, I keep thinking Dark Knight was introducing Shadowbringers, and it was not. It was earlier than that.
Well, it's like
It was-
usually, typically, they like showcase 2 classes because usually it was 2 jobs that got released.
Hmm. They usually show off the jobs that are coming, but they don't always show. I mean, it's usually not Meteor doing them.
Right.
That's true, because Gunbreaker, we got to see Thancred as Gunbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like, in the opening teaser.
And we saw Random Dancer Vera, and we saw Thancred being cool with the Gunblade having a little like Devil May Cry cinematic moment. And what a Dragoon was like already introduced to Realm Reborn, like that wasn't even anything new. It was just sort of like, hey, yeah, swinging an axe at something that can fly isn't really going to work. And Peter was like, okay, let me put on my sexy armor.
Gotta jump real good.
All right. Moving on to question number 2. This is one of Ward's questions, and it's a yes or no one. So pretty much one thing or the other here. Will the next expansion take place primarily on Atheris? Ward said take place on Atheris. I've edited that because I feel that there's a possibility that it could be on multiple places, but I think the main question is it primarily on Atheris, or is it somewhere on like another shard or something? So Zim, you get to answer this one first. Will it take place primarily on Atheris? And this is, I guess we should kind of put a qualifier here, right? We don't know what kind of twists that they're going to be when we play this expansion. Like, we knew nothing about Ultima Thule and all that stuff when they did the teaser trailer for Endwalker. We just knew about the moon and stuff. So this is kind of like based on whatever information we get at FanFest. If we find out at a later FanFest or after 6.5 that, oh, actually this is going to happen, well, it is what it is. But for this FanFest, as far as we know, will it be primarily on Atheris or not?
I'm going to go with no. Take me to brand new horizons and bigger, better places.
Okay.
Adventure time. Road trip.
Tetsemi said yes. Brandon, what about you?
I still believe we're going to Mericidia in the next expansion, so I'm going to say yes.
Alrighty. Megan.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes, Atheris, no Eorzea. Like, we're not gonna stay in anywhere that we already know on Atheris, but I don't think we're gonna. I think that the majority of it is gonna be like exploring parts of Atheris that we've never been to before.
I tend to agree with that. That said, I do. My answer is going to be yes, with the caveat of I do think that in the next expansion we are going to travel to another shard, or another shard is going to interact with the source in some way, but that's not going to be revealed just yet. Sarah, what about you?
So I think perhaps most majority of the time we will kind of be on Atheris, but also making periodic trips to the 13th. I kind of think we're kind of going to be going along the lines of like kind of the opposite of Shadowbringers, or doing something similarly where we're kind of sort of restoring maybe etherical balance to the 13th, because it's like definitely the major antagonist is going to be Golbez. So I think it's like, even with the scales that we have from Vitra, it's like we can't stay within the void indefinitely. So we have to make periodic trips back to the source. I think probably one of the places that would be more or less used as a like base of operations will probably most likely be Thavnir, since that's where Vitra lives, but we'll probably be going to like settlements where the dragons were like extremely prominent, like Mericidia and stuff. I don't think they will unlock the new world for us just yet, but the entire continent island of Mericidia, I think, is a most likely chance.
It seems to be what everyone is not everyone, but a large portion of the player base is leaning toward Mericidia, which almost makes me think that they're going to pull a fast one on us and say no. I mean, I'm leaning toward Mericidia, but these guys can be pretty crafty. Ward, are you going to agree with Zim or the rest of the crowd?
Yeah, I really do think it's going to be somewhere on Atheris, but I think that there's going to be a lot of side stories that bring in bits and pieces from elsewhere, because I was definitely not expecting the curveball of Ultima and the White Auracite to be introduced in the main raid story that would take us back to the ancient times. And then they say like, "Oh, this is some White Auracite that came from space." So, I've got a feeling that we're going to get some curveballs during like the side stories for the raid, the Alliance quest lines about things from the other shards or from other stars other than our own. Who knows? Maybe we go back to the Dragon Star. Maybe we get to see some of the other stars that the Omicrons took over. But I think that the majority of it are either going to be in the New World or it's going to be in Mericidia.
All right, so we have 6 votes for yes on primarily on Atheris, and 1 saying no. So Zim stands to, if she is right, catch up on some ground here, or kind of take the lead here. All right. Next question is a number answer involved here, and it is actually Zim's question. How many seconds of the teaser trailer, that's the one we find at FanFest, will include Thancred? Because, after all, this is Thancred.
Man.
Tetsemi answered 10 seconds. He's expecting a lot of Thancred.
That's a lot of Thancred.
That's a lot of Thancred.
Yeah, that's a lot of Thancred. I didn't count how many seconds of Thancred were in the. There was no Thancred in the teaser trailer for Endwalker because he didn't show the Thavnir scenes for the teaser trailer. So yeah, that would be a lot of Thancred in the teaser trailer. 10 seconds. Brandon, what do you think?
I'm going to go with 1, and it's just going to be like, cut to him, then cut away to something else. I imagine a lot of the Scions are going to get a similar sort of treatment, except for maybe like one with a prominent speaking role. But I don't think that's counting.
Are we counting like face, like actual visual time, or are we counting like voice?
You don't need to speak, just like the.
No, but I mean, like if we don't see his face, but we hear him talking, does that count?
Yes.
Okay,
I would
but
say
and that counts
I would say
time?
Actual presence in
voiceover
the
time
trailer.
counts. Like if you were judging Emmett Selk for Endwalker, then yes, he had a lot of time on there.
He
Okay.
did. Oh my boy.
I'm going to stick with 1 second and say he's not going to get the prominent voiceover for the teaser. We'll just see his face briefly and then cut away.
Oh, I know who's getting the prominent voiceover for the teaser trailer, if there
It'll
is
be-
one.
It'll
It's
be
got-
a live
gotta be-
Tancred reaction.
It's got to be Grahatia.
I
Right?
mean, yeah. Also, he has an amazing voice actor.
Right? Me-
Look,
Plot
if
twist,
they
it's
did,
Xenos.
they did this to me, all right. The fucking Shadowbringers teaser. They're like, we're gonna have him like talking tenderly, and then we're gonna zoom in on his plush lips. Like, what did you think would happen? They knew.
Oh,
They
man.
knew what they were doing.
Megan, how much Thancred time do we get in the teaser trailer?
I'm gonna say 0. It's a teaser trailer, and I don't think. I mean, he'll obviously have a prominent role in the whole story, but I feel like we're gonna be focused on, unless he is like the in character. It's like, I don't know. It's a 1 in how many scions are there shot that he's the guy who's introducing the story. So I'm gonna say 0. I would put a higher bet on either Y'shtola or Graha because I feel like those are kind of the mascots.
You're biased.
I honestly think that if we get any character in the teaser trailer, we get Kryl or Graha.
That makes sense because Kryl has that letter on her desk that she hasn't opened.
Yep.
So it might be Kryl being like, "What's this?"
And developers have said that they plan to give Kryl more focus in the next expansion. So.
Yes!
Considering they
Yes.
forgot her on the Endwalker
Yes.
poster.
Oh no.
Poor baby.
Yep. I'm going to agree with you and say this isn't Thancred. Sarah, how many seconds do you think Thancred will get in the teaser trailer?
It depends on whether or not the Scions will get together in the in the first place. Considering the Scions have quote unquote officially disassembled, but it's Y'shtola I definitely see there because she's a big, huge focal part into the whole let's go into the void and search for ways to travel between the shards. So I would say if the Scions were to get together, usually I typically say if you want to showcase them all, 5 seconds at least.
Okay. So 5 is the answer you're going to go with?
Yeah, I'm going to say 5 seconds.
Alrighty. Ward, what's your
Yeah, I think I have to definitely agree with Brandon this one. I think we'll probably get a shot of each of the Scions and their reaction to whatever the big thing is, and so maybe we'll see
reaction.
live Thancred reaction as he's
Thancred reacts to Zeramos.
It's like, what is that? And it cuts away. It's like, yeah, you get the 1 second with Thancred. That's it. Just
The eyes
okay.
widen.
yeah.
Or Square Enix is haha, joke's on you all, Xenos!
A test of your reflexes.
You thought that it was Mericidia, but it was me, Xenos.
Where's my
Brandon is-
unsubscribe button? I've had
Yep.
it.
Brandon's
Same,
done.
leave Xenos at the end of the universe.
Also,
All right.
I'm gonna amend my prediction a little bit. I'm gonna guess they're gonna tear at our heartstrings a bit and have just a brief 1 second cutscene of Thancred screaming Reen's name with absolute terror in his eyes.
Oh man.
But still 1
Jesus
second.
Christ, dude.
But still 1 second, yes.
Oh, okay, so you didn't
I'm
amend
thinking
your
they're gonna
prediction at all.
He wants extra points if he's right,
He's-
and
he's-
no
There you-
consequences
he's
if
hunting
he's
for
wrong.
kudos.
He just wanted to say her name to get a reaction.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, you're not wrong.
don't
Zim,
bring my daughters into this.
Oh.
Zim, this is your question. I have a feeling you want the number to be significant.
I mean, have you seen Thancred? But no.
I've seen cutscenes. I mean, if it's cutscene Thancred, then
That's
yes, I
definitely
agree.
Thancred.
It's
if it's
absolutely
in-game-
cutscene Thancred.
If it's in-game Thancred, no thank you. Cutscene Thancred? Hello.
It's cutscene Thancred. I'll split the baby. I'll go 2.5 seconds.
Go 2 or 3. Round
Oh,
up.
how dare you! I'm going to
Yep.
round up. We'll go 3.
3. Okay.
Give me 3 seconds
God.
of solid Thancred.
All right.
You're gonna be watching the cutscene with a stopwatch.
I'm a little impressed that the person who went the highest on this was actually Tetsemi with 10 seconds of footage. Man,
That's a
Tetsemi
lot. I
was
don't think he
really
understands how short a teaser is. Like 10 seconds is.
Oh, we'll be talking
Well.
about teaser trailer in length a bit later on. Trust me. Speaking of Tetsemi, let's go to Tetsemi's question here. Tetsemi wants to know how many, so this is a number answer, how many new job roles will be announced. Now, the past has shown it's typically the number has been 2 most of the time. Brandon, do you think that will continue? How many job roles will be announced at this fan fest?
Okay, when you say job roles, what exactly does that mean? Are we talking about just how many new jobs are we going to see announced?
Are they going to announce?
I mean, how many will be announced? So, in other words, if Yoshi P says that there will be new jobs, then an answer of 1 or 0 is obviously incorrect. And I mean, if they say there's going to be 3 new jobs, that would be crazy. I feel like the only 3 realistic answers here is 0, 1, or 2, right? But I mean, I could be wrong. They could announce 3 and blow our minds, but I feel like it's going to be 0, 1, or 2, right? So,
Yeah,
of those 3 possibilities,
I'm going to say 2, but we're only going to know what one of them is. The other one will
Right.
know what role it fits in at best.
That typically has been the pattern with a lot of previous fan fests. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the same here, but I can understand that prediction. Megan, how about you?
I'm going to say 0.
Wow.
Wild card.
Whoa.
I feel like, I don't know, they're going to be like so focused on like making a new setting and like focusing on the story and so much. And also, I can't think of any more like Final Fantasy jobs that haven't been covered yet. And like, what are they going to do? But I'm going to say 0. We're either going to get all of them announced at a different fan fest or where there aren't going to be any. But, this is a prediction. I'm probably wrong because I'm really bad at predicting things.
I'm going to say that it's specifically 1 job, and that they are said that it's only going to be 1 job. That this time they aren't going to say there will be new jobs, plural. So I do think it'll be 1 job, and I don't think that it will be officially announced at this fan fest. Although there will probably be a hint, and we'll get to that part a little bit later on. But I'm going to say 1 new job will be confirmed. Sarah, how about you?
I think they might try to stick with the tradition of 2.
Okay.
So it's like, as they were like said like the last time and whatnot, is like they might start developing jobs that are unique for Final Fantasy XIV. There are definitely kind of like jobs that are still like haven't been used that have showed up in like previous like Final Fantasy games. It's like, for example, you have like stuff like Green Mages, or you had Geomancer, but it kind of seems like a little bit unlikely. And also, it's like usually the guest kind of comes in for whatever you see on Yoshi P's like shirt. So I believe that they're gonna probably come out with 2 unique classes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I'd be very surprised if it won't be the case.
Alrighty. Ward, how many you think?
I'm going to try and double down a bit because I do think it's going to be only 1.
Okay.
I do think it's probably going to be just a limited job. So I think that with all of the graphical updates that they're planning for the next expansion, that they're not going to have a ton of time to have additional programming to throw in another whole battle job to try and tweak and balance in the high-end rating and leveling, and then trying to balance it all throughout the whole leveling experience. But I do think that one of the things that they would want to do is try to highlight some of the older content they've had. I can definitely see Beastmaster being the one job they add for this expansion. So I'm going to go with just one.
All right.
I can imagine that'd be complicated, though, considering that they would have to make something a little bit more complicated than the summoning, like AI.
Yeah. It's
Right.
it might be, a Beastmaster might just be, featuring the whatever beasts are on Mericidia or wherever we go. It may not be something that's like compatible with the whole game and such, but no, I can definitely see that being a possibility. Zim, what's your answer?
First of all, I want to attack things with Nutkin. So if there is a Beastmaster, I'm going to pick it up right away and hurl my chip.
Oh, man.
But I'm going to stick with tradition and call it at 2.
All right. And Tetsemi is answering his own question as well with 2, and he added here he says he'll believe it's 1 range DPS, 2 range DPS, 1 magical, and 1 physical. So a
Interesting.
magical range and a physical range.
Can he throw
Because, I
Nutkin?
definitely think a physical range DPS is like a definite because there's only 3. Everything else has like at least.
No, casters don't.
Like
Master's only 3.
it's like caster. Well, I suppose if you minus the blue mage.
Which you should.
Take back. That's fighting words.
Yeah, so it's like okay, so probably we might be looking at a physical range DPS and a magical range DPS.
All right. Question number 6. This one is from Brandon. So he'll get to answer this one last. The question is, will there be another moment of Keiko doing the "I cannot believe Soken is doing this, must maintain professional demeanor" face? Brandon, would you like to kind of elaborate more on what you're referring to for those who aren't familiar with who Keiko is?
Okay, Keiko is the concert pianist who was on stage performing during FanFest, the last time we had one of these. I believe that's her name. If I got it wrong, then I'm sorry. You all remember that moment where Soken came out on stage and began performing Lahi, and there's a moment where the camera cuts to her and she's like trying as hard as she can not to crack up. I want to know if we're going to see another moment of that.
Do we have another Lahi type song? I don't.
Have you met Papaya Remastered?
Did you guys hear Soken singing?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. No matter what he performs, it's going to get that reaction.
Oh,
I mean, I suppose there is songs like The Wings of Hope.
It wasn't just that he was singing Lahi. He also had this little it looks like a musical note or like a water drop.
It's an automaton, yeah.
Yeah, the automaton. That
makes
was,
the little goofy noises. Oh my god! I'm like.
So I guess you could also phrase this question as, will we see a return of Soken's automaton?
Because that would in turn probably cause the Keiko face. Megan, you get to answer this one first. It's a yes or no answer.
I would say I hope so, but I don't think so. I think that was a one-time magical event, and I don't think that they will try to recapture that magic. I think that's something else utterly insane that we could never predict will happen. Who knows what?
Right. So that's a no from you. I'm going to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think they bring Soken back with the automaton, and we're going to have another silly moment. It won't be Lahi. It'll be something else, and it'll catch us out of right field, whatever it is. Sarah, what do you think?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
So I kind of think, considering the circumstances of which that fan fest fell into, is with the pandemic and whatnot, everything was just online, and it's I can imagine it was both a bit of a surreal experience for both the viewers and for those who are basically kind of putting up this information and stuff for the fans, right, that are just watching it from all over the place. And And it's like, I suppose it's kind of hard to tell because Soken is a bit of a wild card.
He is.
We don't know if he'll get up to perform or anything along those lines. And it's like, even kind of a bit beforehand, Lahi was a bit of a meme.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
it's like, for
we don't
Endwalker...
We don't have a lot here, I think, this expansion.
No, we didn't. So it's like, I don't think Soken is going to kind of do anything. Now, would he probably like perform music? I think so, yes.
I will say that on the official schedule for FanFest, there is a piano performance, and Soken is listed as one of the presenters.
Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
it's a 50-50 chance of those who said yes and those who said wrong.
I mean, there's presenting and then there's performing, two very different things. So we shall see. All right, let's see. That leaves Ward. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I definitely do think that we'll have repetition. I think that our
A reprisal?
reprisal, yes. a repeat performance. Definitely, I don't think it's going to be a Lahi. I think. Right. Oh gosh, what's the name of the? Either To the Edge or something. I think that he will be bringing back. Something he'll be bringing back. I think to definitely bring some spice to that piano performance, and I think that Gecko might not appreciate all of that, but I think he'll be a nice surprise.
Zim, what's your call?
Oh god, yeah, there's totally going to be shenanigans on stage, but she'll probably keep her cool and, not bust a gut laughing like I would.
All right. Brandon, are you going to agree with Megan and War? I'm sorry. Are you going to agree with Megan and Sarah, or are you agreeing with the rest of us?
It's going to happen, and I'm going to go out on the limb and say the song Soken's going to butcher is Scream.
Oh man! Oh, I would pay all the money just to see that again.
So
if I do that.
If you're wrong and he doesn't perform that, do you lose your point?
That's up to Ro, but if it doesn't, if it's not that song, I'll accept the loss of points.
Oh my!
Okay. Noted.
You heard it here, folks.
Yep. Indeed. All right. Question number 7. Approaching the halfway point here. This is Megan's question. Will a possible playable race be revealed in the teaser trailer? Now, before we get into answers, Megan, this is a yes or no question. So what qualifies as yes or no for this?
As in, like, not just like something that's like a little, like the little gremlin in the Shadowbringers trailer was not a possible playable race, but like the Viera was. You know what I mean? Like,
Makes
not
the
just
final
like
call on whether it's possible, me or you.
Fuck me. It's my question.
I will let you be the arbiter of that then. So, will a possible playable race, according to Megan, be
it's just like, is
revealed
it humanoid? Is it like player sized? Is it like, does it look? Is it anime sexy? Because they have not done non-sexy characters after Lullafell, so. I don't know. Maybe we're about ready for another one. Maybe it'll be another potato race or like something cute. So it has to be appealing. It has to be like something that like you can see somebody on DeviantArt being like, "Yes, that's my soul."
All right. First off is myself, and I'm going to say. I'm going to say the teaser trailer. No, I think if there is going to be that, if that is going to be a thing, I don't think this is the fan fest that we get to see it. I feel like it's something that they would hold up keep up their sleeve for either Europe or Japan fan fest. So for now, I'm going to say no. Sarah, what do you think?
I believe that it's going to be a no because they kind of said that they won't be creating new races for Final Fantasy XIV, and it's like the only thing that is left to be released is the female Hrothgar. So I predict that they're going to be showing the female Hrothgar at the FanFest. So
yeah,
that's what-
here's my question. Does that count, Megan, if it's a female Hrothgar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's already a thing that we kind of knew and expected. So I am believing that they're going to be doing the like reveal there because they kind of did similarly to like Malvira last year. So
Yeah, maybe they got their own little movie.
Reveal.
Doing a little dance.
everyone wants their big sexy cat ladies apparently that are not Mikote.
We want cat
It'd be my
women.
line
We
of
have cat
smells.
girls. We want cat women. We have cat boys. We have cat men. Now we need the cat women.
All right. So you think so if a female Hrothgar does appear in the teaser trailer, it counts. Okay. All right. Now, mind you, this is a teaser trailer. If they show a female Hrothgar during their keynote, but it's not in the teaser trailer, then
No, don't count.
yeah. All right. Ward, what about you?
Yeah, I wish I could answer yes, but I don't think that they're going to have enough time because I feel like they're going to have so much to tell about the new story.
The thing is,
in the teaser.
Okay.
I think it's like the full trailer.
So,
I think we'll have a cutaway.
I'm not saying
and
like
we'll have-
this is a race we're definitely going to be playing in this expansion. Like this is a possible future playable
Right.
race. Like, you know, something that like we're getting introduced like I don't know Voidkin or like people from Mericidia are like part dragon and they've got different scales than our or so, you know something like
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
It could be
definitely see other
something that
heroes.
people say, "Hey, I wish I could play that." Even
Yeah,
if it's not
exactly.
right.
And like with enough pestering over enough years and they've had enough time to have not been working on any new races, they might be like, you know what? Okay.
I still think it's a bit early. I think that they're going to give us a lot more perspectives of like the area and the zones and less about the actual people that are going to be in there. So I'm going to stick with my no. I'm going to say for the full trailer, I think we'll get to see the peoples of these places that we're going to go visit. But I think for the teaser, it's just going to be the places themselves.
Okay. Zim.
Ward made it easy. I'm going to ditto everything he said and why.
Just tee it up for
Strong
you.
choice.
Tetsemi answered yes, actually, and he added for going for bonus points here. He thinks that either a Banga or a Nemo could be in the teaser trailer.
Manga, I could see that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Brandon.
I'm going to say in the teaser trailer, we're not going to see any signs of any new playable races. I think the full trailer will have maybe like similar to how we saw the Vieira in the dancer outfit in the Shadowbringers trailer, the full one. I think we'll have like a brief cut moment where it's like slow panning over a new female Hrothgar NPC and then move on. But in the teaser, no.
All right. And then Megan, you have the last one here. Only Tetsemi has said yes. What do you say?
I'm gonna say yes also because I mean it's kind of dumb if I don't. But it's
You
also
want it to
kind
be
of
true.
funny that like I want it to be true. I'm using the power of positive thinking and I'm saying yes and I'm gonna manifest it, okay?
God, if that works.
My manifestation powers usually come with some sort of monkey paw catch though, so look out.
All right. Well, it's funny how these questions are going the way I ordered them because this one is kind of a follow-up to the question. My question is, will female Hrothgar reveal themselves? Now, what I mean specifically by this is, will we see in-game, will we see a female Hrothgar either... It can be either in the trailer or rendered game footage picture of a Hrothgar, even if it's a still, like a picture of what a Hrothgar would look in a game. So, in other words, if it's sketch art of a female Hrothgar, you know what? No, sketch art of a female Hrothgar counts too, as far as like concept art, that works too. So, will the devs reveal what a female Hrothgar looks like at FanFest? Sarah, you get the first crack.
I'm gonna scream yes from the top of my lungs. It's been a while. It's been a very long time coming. It's like they were already kind of in development since like they were already working on male Vera, but I think they just didn't have the time for it, especially to get it out sooner. So I think by now it should be like rendered. Probably like it'll be similar in terms of the footage that we saw for the male Vera. I think they'll kind of go the same route again and do it for the female Hrothgar, where they kind of have a showcase of them.
All right, Ward, what do you think?
I'm going to say probably just something in much more akin to concept art. I can definitely see some renders, but I just don't know if like all the rigging has been done so they can actually show some videos of like gameplay footage or what it would look like in the different animations. I think it's much more likely that we'll see
concept art
like,
will count.
Models, like maybe models or like models that are posed but not in motion.
Yeah, like a character model pose sheet.
Yeah, exactly.
Zim.
Oh, I think we'll definitely get some type of a sneak peek or a sketch or a model or just a still shot. Yeah, there'll be something. Like the fan base has just been going gaga over that. So if they don't reveal something, I think they're going to have a mob.
Tetsemi said yes, and he added in his answer, they'll reveal their presence, but much to Megan's sadness, they won't expose themselves.
Excuse me.
Thank you, Tetsemi.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's an interesting way to word it.
you're telling me your brain
Well, what
didn't
if they
go there
should-
with his question?
Look, man, the male Hrothgar base armor is just like a little gladiator skirt and a couple belts. You really think that the lady Hrothgars aren't going to be exposed?
Are you
I'm
saying
saying-
they're going to be like typical Japanese RPGs, whereas like men have like all the armor and all the ladies are in more revealing clothing?
Well, if the Hrothgar is all the armor, then the female Hrothgar is going to be like a handkerchief and a belt.
I'm going to sneeze. I need that kerchief, please.
What if they're just like, yeah, they're just bare chested. They have fur covering their nipples, so they don't care.
Wow.
I don't know.
Can we see Hrothgar nipples? I really should have.
I think
I would know
they're
this.
Oh, they're too furry.
Brandon, yes or no? Will female Hrothgar reveal themselves?
Yes, and they will be met with raucous applause and cheering.
Megan.
I think if they don't, but like, I feel like that's one of the things that they like have to do. Like, it's on the checklist of like, okay, guys, this is what we absolutely have to get finished because they've been promising it for so long, and like everybody's pretty much rabid for it at this point. And also, the game feels kind of incomplete without it, like as is now, because like you're like. Only female Vera and only male Hrothgar. Okay, never mind. We're gonna give you the other genders too. And then they only gave us male Vera for like this long. Everybody's like, "Excuse me, sir, I've been waiting. My order is incomplete." So I think we're gonna get the full little male Vera cutscene thing because I don't think I don't think the in-game models have to be fully ready to do that actually in the game to be able to render a little 2D animation to doing it. Like. Yeah, it's not like I'm going to be able to play test a female Hrothgar. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think they're going to show them like in a little video in motion.
What do you think they'll do, Megan?
Well,
it'll probably be similar to the male Viera. We'll see them like getting out of the fucking in bed and like stretching and like doing a little dance, you know. Or since they're female Hrothgar, maybe they'll be like doing some flexing. Doing some squats. Who knows? Running through a jungle.
All right. That leaves my answer. And to all of you, I say, you have activated my trap card.
What?
Come on.
Because here's the thing, folks. Of course, female Hrothgar are going to be coming to this expansion, but not in this fan fest. It is too soon for that reveal. People want that reveal. They're going to hold on to it tight. This fan fest is about big picture things, setting the story, setting the mood, kind of big picture things. That reveal the female Hrothgar, they got to save it for Europe or Japan, not in Las Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and I'm sorry, female Hrothgar aren't going to be in Vegas, so they can just get out. There will not be female Hrothgar concept art. There will not be a render. There will not be an animation. I know you want it. We all want it, but now is not the time. I say no.
I think you're right. I think they did the same thing with Melvira. Now that I think about it,
it's been so long. That's why I feel like they can't get away with not at least showing like concept art and like a still pose.
Okay, but I just feel like they're gonna do the same fucking thing they did with Melvira, where they don't mention anything, and then at the end of the thing, they're like, "Did we forget something?" And we're all like, "Oh, they're gonna show it." And they're like, "No, bye."
No. If they hadn't announced that they were already working on female Hrothgar, I would agree with you. But we all know it's coming. It's going to be like a major letdown if they don't show off at least something. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's like I have been kind of like just banking on this like for a while, because like at this point it's like your fan base has like a certain set of expectations, and it falls into the realm of marketing. Yeah. Mm. So it'd be kind of like wise to kind of like just give them a little bit of something, because it's like you have game companies, for example, like BioWare and all that stuff. A lot of people have been like wanting to like see stuff for the new Dragon Age game, but nothing really has come out, or it's already something that we've seen before. So there has been a massive buildup of frustration, and it's like you want to avoid that. So I'm pretty sure Square Enix will go down along the line, and they'll show a bit of something rather than nothing.
Yeah, if you want to market an upcoming game, don't do what Dragon Age is doing, and do everything that Baldur's Gate 3 is doing, because my god, that game looks good. But
I didn't even know they were making another Dragon. They were making another Dragon Age game.
Yeah,
is that real?
Yeah, Dreadwolf. Yeah.
What? Yeah.
What the fuck?
You see,
it was announced like 3 years ago.
Clearly not enough marketing.
Yeah.
Clearly not enough marketing.
Yep. All right.
Inquisition finally.
We are at the actual halfway point, and we are on to Sera's second question. Where will we explore next? Now, Sera, do you kind of want to qualify this question as far as what is a legitimate answer?
So it's like, I think it kind of felt similarly along the lines of whether or not like the expansion will kind of take place on like Atheros or not. I think it's kind of more or less like the same kind of question, where we'll be kind of delivering the same sort of answers. So
I guess maybe we can kind of judge it by if they mention a location that the expansion is taking place. If someone gives an answer that matches one of the locations that they say it's taking place, whether it is the main location or not, it qualifies as a valid answer. Yep.
Yeah, I can go with that. I still say Bear City.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, with that said, Ward, you get to take the longest to figure out this answer once again.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think, because I feel like Mare City is the one that they've been teeing up so much,
right?
But they've been also teeing up a lot of other places. They've been teeing up the New World with a lot of things there. They've also been teeing up Grahatia's homeland, which I totally thought was going to be like one of those field expedition zones,
like a Boja type situation.
Yeah. So I really thought that there was a lot of places that we were going to see already, because we already got a bunch of lore for them. But I really think since they've like wrapped up the whole Hydaelyn Zodiark arc, that all the main loose threads that they're going to be tying together are more or less tied together. So while I hope that we're going to be going to Mare City, and that's like my hope that it's going to be on Atheros, I do think that there are going to be some things to do with the other shards where we'll just get a chance to explore a whole new Eorzea that is something like our Eorzea, but is not entirely. So I'm thinking the different shards.
Okay, so your answer is another shard. Now, does that mean for you, are the 1st and 13th, do those qualify? Or
they do still qualify. So I do think that like we might have some additional side quests in some areas on the 13th. I've got a feeling we'll have some side quests that lead us back to the first, even if it's just to wrap up some things or to check in with some people. But yeah, I've got a feeling that maybe even like not the primals, the extreme series, whatever primals or big bads we're going to fight, those might not be from Aetheris, they might be from another shard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Zim, what is your answer?
I really want to go to the New World, but again, I like going after Ward because shards. I think we're going to do a lot of time on other shards. I think we're going to go back to the first for sure.
All right.
But yeah, I think we're going to shard hop.
Okay. Tetsemi has a very interesting answer. Tetsemi said, "We will explore the area north of Thavnair and west of the Knowing Sea and the Burn." That is a very specific general area of the map that has not really been revealed. So
north of Thavnair, so they're talking about Grahatia's like homeland, Corvos.
Gross, that'd be it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
What,
Brandon.
you upset we're going to go to Capway Island? There will be cat girls there, too.
A lot of
you got a good point there. Okay.
Brandon, you're up.
I'm sticking with my answer from a previous question. We're going to Mericidia.
All right. Megan.
I'm going to go with the New World. I really want to see it. I just want to know. I want to see Final Fantasy America.
Final Fantasy America?
Final Fantasy America, where we're killing all the natives.
Yeah, there was never colonized.
All the oil.
Yeah, no, like I want to see like even like a whole. I mean, like America is in like the continental sense.
Okay.
I want to see. I do think Final Fantasy like Yeehaw America would be fucking hilarious, and I would love that. And I don't think that's ever happening.
Wild West.
I mean, come on, like you show it's like, hello, this is machinist country out here, or they think the machinists are really dumb because they're like, oh, you over designed this piece of crap.
You're a gun breaker, well, I'm a gunslinger.
Oh my god!
All the Animos hats are coming out.
Yep.
All right. My answer. So my heart wants to say another reflection, but my head is going to just stay on the bandwagon and go with the safe answer for the points, and that is, I believe Mericidia will be named as one of the settings for the expansion. I do think another reflection is possible, but I think it is a safer bet to put my points on Mericidia. Sarah, what is your answer?
I still think that Mericidia is going to be one of the like prime locations. I don't think they're going to send us to other shards aside from the 13th just yet, because it's like we still have a lot of like places to explore for certain. There are still several like surviving shards, but it's like you'll recall at the end of like Endwalker, where we get to see Emet and they're twisting that emotional knife in our heart again as they're taking our sweet boy away from us. How he's listing things off, like, have you like explored these places or like the bounty? It's like so far we've been kind of following along his thing, in terms of order. So it's like we've already went into the bounty, and it's like we saw the treasures. So it's like it mentions like City of Gold and things like that. So it's like I think we'll probably follow along more of like what Emmett was telling us, like the places of Aetheris that we have yet to go. So it's like he did mention Mericidia. So
I did think that he was kind of acting almost as like a dev mouthpiece, being like, hey, there's a lot of this world we haven't shown you yet, so like don't think that everything's over.
Yeah, just because you went to the end of the universe doesn't mean you've seen everything.
Yeah, so they're just saying like there's still a lot left that we can do in Aetheris. So
all right. Okay. With that said, let's go on to Ward's next question. Now, Ward, I'm going to give you a choice. Now, you know and I know what your second question is. Without saying what it is, I'm going to tell you that I am 99% sure that the answer has actually already been stated and confirmed by Yoshi P.
Uh-oh.
So with that said, do you want to still continue with the question or not?
Oh, gosh. I'm trying to remember what my second question was now.
I will message it to you in Discord. I will just give you a couple words.
Yeah, because that's the thing is I think that you're right. It's kind of a gimme, but I think it's more like where does it go beyond this? Like, is it going to be the final iteration? Like,
right.
It's going to be the last time that this happens.
So do you want to change the question to will it be announced that this is the end of it?
Yeah, I think so. Like,
okay.
Will this be the last?
Okay, so then the question was originally, what's the level cap for 7.0? I can say that in an interview given in January, Yoshi P actually confirmed that the level cap for 7.0 is level 100. So it would be too much of a gimme to say level 100. So let's make the question this. Will Yoshi P confirm that level 100 is the highest level that people will reach in Final Fantasy XIV before changes are made to the system? So basically, will they confirm that this is it? 100 is going to be the end of it. With that said, Zim, you get the answer first.
I'm going to go with no, because you don't speak those words of finality. Like, you leave it open-ended. Like there's just, don't write it in stone. So don't confirm it. Leave it hanging. Leave the hope alive.
All right. I will actually have to get Tetsemi's answer for this question since we're kind of amending it on the fly. So I will get his after we're done recording. Brandon, how about you?
I don't think they're going to talk about it.
Okay.
Obviously, it's going to be a question on the forefront of some people's mind, but I think they're going to be like, hey, we're raising the level cap to 100, but I don't think they're going to talk about what this means for after this expansion.
Right.
I think they're just going to be like, leave it at that. We'll talk about it later at another time.
Okay. Megan?
I'm going to say yes, but it's purely vibes based because 100 sounds like a really nice round number.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's like a cool starting point to, like, I don't know, build off of for the night. They're like, yeah, 100 because we've done 100%. And then we're going to start anew after that. So it sounds right to me. But I'm a vibes-based creature.
So my answer is actually going to be a little interesting. I agree with you for the most part, Megan, but I'm going to reach a little bit for extra credit here. I think Yoshi P and the crew are going to change their mind on the 100. I actually think that the level cap for this new expansion is going to be 99. And I say that because 99 as a level cap is a very Final Fantasy thing. It happens in a lot of Final Fantasy games that 99 is the cap. And I feel like it would be paying homage to Final Fantasy in the nostalgia way that they like to do, to go ahead and make it 99. I mean, honestly, the leveling all the leveling numbers mean is just, it's a mark of your progression from the beginning of the MSQ to the end of the MSQ. A lot of your game is played either on the journey or an end game, and the numbers are kind of, they are what they are. So I feel like, yes, they are going to say something about the whole leveling thing, but I also think that 99 is going to actually be that last level. Sarah, what do you think?
That's a really interesting question. It's like, well, it would be interesting to see them pay the homage to the 99, as you said. It's just the fact that inherently by nature, that like Final Fantasy XIV is an MMO, and it's just kind of a thing where they raised it by like 10 levels.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't make sense if they were to do it by doing it by 9s. Now, if they did, then color me surprised. But given its nature as an MMO, I would think that they would actually go to 100. But it's usually the thing where a lot of like MMOs kind of face. It's like the same thing with like World of Warcraft, where it's like it definitely has a lot more expansions. And you kind of wonder to yourself, like, just how long is it kind of going to go, right? Like, when does the number stop? Because it's like, there was also at one point where Square Enix had to do their number squish to, like, adjust things, because it's like, at some point, things start getting a little bit pretty ridiculous in terms of numbers. So it's like, probably at some point in time, they would have to do a level squish of sorts.
Do you think they'll talk about it in FanFest?
I do not for Squish, but I think they will. Maybe they might mention that there's going to be, of course, more levels and stuff. I do think.
Okay, so if you think there's going to be more levels, then you would say that it's that 100 or whatever the cap is not going to be the end, then.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the end.
Okay.
I think they'll mention that there's going to be an increase, but I do not think that it will be the end, just due to the kind of the status quos of MMOs.
All right. Ward, you get the last answer for this one.
Yes, I really do think that 100 is going to be the finest, like the last level we get, as in like the highest number level we get. Because I think that they're going to spend this entire expansion working on, I mean, like in the lead up to the expansion, they're spending all this time working on like rigging, working on a lot of the back end stuff, working on the character models, working on the lighting. But I think that they're definitely going to have to take a strong look at the actual mechanics and the gameplay going forward. Because I think a lot of things that they've been trying to figure out is like, okay, how do we differentiate these things for, how do we add, 2 new abilities and still fit in the same type of rotation for all these different jobs? If we keep adding new jobs, if we keep changing things up, I think that they're going to be stopping the whole leveling as we know it at level 100. I do think that even if they don't end up talking about it, which I'm going to say maybe they might hint at it during one of the Q&As or during some of the live letters.
So
but I don't think this is...
If they hint at it, that would be kind of a yes as far as like for the purpose of this question.
Yeah, so that they would hint at, the way that we're going to be treating leveling up after 7.0 is going to be different.
Right.
And that, maybe it's going to be something like, we had side-by-side leveling systems where, yes, you could be level 70 outside of Eureka, but once you get into Eureka, you're elemental level 1. And then maybe for the expansions, we get something similar to that, where each of the expansions will be leveling up in a different kind of leveling experience, where, yes, you can still go in, you can still grind, you can still make numbers go up, but your character level never increases past 100.
All right. Next question is Zim's, and I've been waiting all episode for this question. Will sweaty Estinian push-ups be referenced by developers, performers on stage during the concert, anyone in the keynote, or anyone on any other featured panels? Insert Zero's pan down gaze here. Tetsemi does believe that we will see some sweaty Estinian push-ups, and that some performers on stage or some cosplayers will likely recreate it.
Mm-hmm.
That takes us to Brandon.
Oh, good, Brandon.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yes, from Brandon. I'm actually surprised by that. Megan?
Yes, and I bet it'll be like one of the devs making a joke. Like somebody will mention something about dragoons, and one of them will pretend to do push-ups. or something.
I believe the answer is yes, and I think an Estinian cosplayer is going to do push-ups during the cosplay walk. Sarah, yes or no?
God, no, why y'all do this to me? It's like you guys weren't there, but I was like in a voice chat going through the content with some friends of mine, and they thought I was literally dying and choking when I reached that one scene.
It's a good one.
Because it's like I don't think you understand. It's like there is no logic behind it. I simply simp, and that is it. That is it. And it's like I'm like, if there is a honest chance where it's like I can see a shitless sweaty Estinian again, I'm gonna be like yes, and Zero just being like, should we disrobe as well? I'm like, oh my god, everyone else out of this room, meet your two, baby, get out, just, like leave me in here because I chose Estinian. When the Scions were at your door, it's like, choose which one, and I was like, Estinian, and it's like the fucker came into the room, and I was like, oh yes, please let this be a thing, and then they denied me by having the bastard jump out the window, and I'm like, they are teasing me, and it's horrible, and they're doing this. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a fan service that they would do again.
Hey, Sarah, tell us how you really feel about Estinian.
This would go beyond the 2-hour podcast. I could go on
fair.
my list of husbandos.
Like, I'm not even into Estinian, and I was like, holy shit. It was the fact that the sweat was like dripping like directly over
Glistening.
his little...
His skin was glistening.
Glistening. Yeah.
It was like little white droplets right over his nips. It was quite explicit. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, Estinian, what are you doing? And then I was like, can we get the sweat texture for other characters, please?
We could all appreciate, though, that it was a nice reference to that piece of art they did during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ward, yes or no?
I'm going to say not only yes do we see a cosplayer act dressed as Estinian doing push-ups on stage, but I do think that one of the devs is going to see someone doing push-ups and then like pull out a handkerchief and just wipe their brow as they watch. That is definitely going to happen at some point. So definitely yes. Multiple
The teaser trailer is just going to be a bunch of prominent NPCs all doing push-ups.
Shirtless. That's
you
the important
gotta get
part.
ready, man. You gotta get ready for that adventure.
It's going to just be a training montage. Everybody's all sweaty in the gym.
Well, that brings us to the author of this question, Zim.
I'm pretty sure you know my answer. Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Pretty sure.
I want it to be a whole choreographed, like, dance move. I want the chicken tenders ready to fry.
Okay.
Everybody doing push-ups.
I want a
Carnival
cosplay
concert.
group,
Oh,
and
man.
I want it to be a shirtless Estinian doing push-ups with like a Gistrola sitting on his back drinking tea.
Yes.
And like a shirtless meteor cosplay. They're like also doing push-ups, like they're having a contest. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Oh man!
All right. Probably the best question of this episode. Okay. Next question. This one is from Tetsemi. How many, so this is a number answer, how many job roles will they show the Warrior of Light going through in the expansion trailer? So I have a question. Is his default costume warrior?
Yes, that's one of the warrior artifact sets.
Okay, all right, so the default costume counts as one then. Okay, I was wondering because that kind of affects my own answer. All right, so with that said, we saw him go through quite a few in Shadowbringers, and he's done a few for a few different ones. But for this expansion, in the teaser trailer now, mind you, the teaser trailer, which is shorter than the full trailer, how many job roles will Meteor go through in the teaser trailer? We start with Brandon.
Yeah, this is a tough one because I mean, Endwalker was just one. He was pretty much, a hooded paladin the entire time until he, dramatically revealed the actual artifact armor underneath that cool little cloak he had on. But every time before that, he swapped through at least a couple. I'm going to say we're going to get a return to form and have him do at least 2. So 3 total. He's going to start with 1 and do 2 shifts.
Gotcha. So 3 total. All right. Megan.
I'm going to say just 2 because it's the teaser trailer, and they might want to stick him in one of the new jobs, and they're not going to want to reveal that yet. Mm-hmm. So there'll probably be 3 in the finished trailer, but only 2 in the teaser. That's what I think.
I really don't have much more to add because I 100% agree with you. I think it will be his default form, Black Mage, and one other, which they won't show in this trailer. So I'm going to go with 2. That brings us to Sera.
I also kind of find myself being in agreement as well. So I think definitely they're probably going to show off one of the new things. Because it's like they at least show like 2 and whatnot for some of their stuff. Or it's like they might kind of surprise us again. It's like wasn't just fully the Warrior of Light. It's like even other characters have like changed into a different job class. It's like Yustola used to be a white mage, but now she does more black mage stuff. Thancred was a rogue, and he went into a gunbreaker. Alphinaud went from kind of more like a scholar to into a sage. So
Alphinaud was his own job. He was like this weird hybrid of scholar and summoner.
He was an arcanist.
He was an arcanist.
Which is what everybody who is not like the Warrior of Light or in the Summoner Squad or in the Nemean Marine Squad are. Yeah. If they have a carbuncle, if they have a book, they're an arcanist.
Yeah.
Okay, but Alphinaud is weird because he made his own carbies.
Yeah, he's an overachiever. And I would also like the recipe for his little, what was it, a white carbuncle or a black one?
Onyx carbuncle.
Oh my God. Carbuncle. I want it. Alphinaud, you're not using it anymore. Tell me. Give me
that Iggy Glam, please. All right. Ward, how many for you?
I'm going to buck the trend. I'm going to say only 1. Is that we may see him change into a new job somewhere down the line on the full trailer. But I think for this teaser, we'll only see him in 1 set. I mean, I know my original guess was Ninja. I think I was shooting from the hip on that one. I think people saying Bard probably might be closer to the truth on that one. But I think whatever we're going to see him in, he's only going to be in the 1 job for the teaser.
All right. Zim, how about you?
I'm going to go with 2 as well. Okay. But Brandon said the word shifts, and my brain immediately went to P12 PTSD. So thank you. stay her shift. No, brain, don't do that. And I'm just going to go with 2. 2 it is.
All right. Tetsemi said 2, and he said Dark Knight, then Reaper, which would be interesting for a teaser trailer for Meteor to start Dark Knight and then go Reaper. I will have to talk to him and see if he had figured that like the default warrior was just like a given. So I'll have to kind of follow up with him on that. But he's saying Dark Knight into Reaper, so we shall see. We shall see how it all pays out. A lot of us are saying 2. One person with 1, one person with 3. So we'll see where it goes there. Be funny if it's just like 5 or 6. All the greatest hits.
Did you just jinx us? You stop. You take that.
Well,
back.
And if that happens, Brandon gets the points because he would be the closest.
He's closest.
We just see him like traveling around like he's in a different outfit every shot.
So
hey guys!
If we don't see the Warrior of Light at all, is that a 0?
Oh yeah.
Yes. It would be a 0, and Ward would get the points.
Would you tip your hat like 0?
Oh wow!
0's now the main character.
There's a fascinating question. What if this is the first trailer without Meteor?
That would be fucking great.
That's really going to raise so many questions.
It's nothing but female Hrothgar and 0 and Sweaty Estinian.
I'm on board.
All right.
Hang on with their reaction shots, like,
okay.
Right.
Next question. This is Brandon's second question, and this is another fun one. Will there be an announcement specifically about glamour that will have the entire audience screaming with joy and raucous approval? I will help the crowd here by letting you know that in addition to them talking about the new expansion, the live letter is on 6.5. Take that into consideration. We will start with Megan.
I mean, probably yes. I mean, even if they're just like, yeah, we're giving you like 2 more glamour panels, everybody would be like, yeah! Give us anything. We're easy to please. We're easy to please.
I feel like since 6.5 is in the live letter, between that and then possibly talking about some of the broader features of the expansion, I feel it's almost a slam dunk. Yes, that I feel like even a small thing is going to ignite that crowd just because of the hype. It's been a while since we've had a fan fest. It's kind of that, for lack of a better word for me, it's kind of like that BlizzCon magic intensity hype thing going on there. So I feel like, yeah.
Do I get to cheat because I get to be in that crowd?
Hey, if through the power of your cheering and stuff like that, you ignite the cheers, I mean that's totally on you. So, I mean, I wouldn't call it cheating. If you can, if no one else does it, but then you cheer and then everyone else does, I mean.
But if they're like, we're taking away glamour chests, and I'm like, yeah,
and everyone cheers, sure.
If you somehow make that happen, and it's a bad announcement.
Like, what did he say? I just heard I heard glamour, and then this girl's screaming. I don't know. It must be good.
Yep, that's all.
Ward
Cheer.
Ward needs the video.
Sarah, will there be joyful screaming and raucous approval at a glamour announcement?
Oh. Hells, man, we need it so bad. Like, I feel like there's, like, no space. There's so much good glam, but not enough room. And it's, like, one of the things I admire about World of Warcraft was their transmog. Mm-hmm. It's, like, all you had to do was at least be in the possession of an item once. And it's kind of, like, there. And you can apply it at any time. And I'm like, please, almighty lords of Square Enix, like, give us that kind of system. That would be so good to have. And, like, even another increase to the glamour dresser or even more glamour plates would be a rather big positive, like, reception for the crowd, I believe. So I am not going to, like, hope a little bit too much that they're actually going to announce it, but it would be a welcome surprise if they did.
All right, so a yes from you.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Power of positive thinking. Ward, yes or no? Will there be screaming?
I'm gonna say yes, because really, if people ask a question about glamour and they say exactly these two words, I think that we will definitely have everyone up and raucous applause.
All right.
Housing item. How long has it been? How many years? How many years have we been waiting for this day?
Too many. I think they did confirm that they were actually going to up
at some point.
Capacity. When? Yeah. But when is the question? So
we're still waiting.
Does that count as a glam?
I mean, it's glam for the house, I guess.
Well, if you could do glamour from your house,
exactly.
Yeah, as long as it's
a housing item. As long stop having to run to the inn every single time, or at the free company.
That would be nice.
Grand company.
And I will also say that if there is an announcement about 6.5 Island Sanctuary stuff involving glamoring furnishings there, and it gets approval and applause, that does count. because glamoring furniture is it's a glamour announcement, so that could work too. That's why I think that there's too many opportunities for this to go positively. So, all right,
Definitely yes. Definitely yes.
Zim. Yes,
Well,
or
I have to be contrarian because that's who I am.
Ooh.
I'm going to go no. Big fat N-O. Nada. Squat zilch nothing. Crush your hopes.
Hey, you know what? I respect the strategy. I respect the strategy of trying to pull ahead in points if you're right. So
I'm not going to be right. I'm going to tell you that right now.
There was a wise man who once said, "It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays off for him." Tetsemi said yes, and he went on further to say double the number of fashion plates and storage limits to 1,000.
God, that would be so nice. Oh my God.
Nice.
Brandon, I know you're excited.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Brandon, your question, your answer.
This is probably a little bit of cheating. It's a combination of me posting an easy slam dunk question because, let's face it, those devs know their audience, and also it's me also trying to manifest some good announcements about glamour. Would I like to see a version of WoW's transmog wardrobe? Yes, come on, we all would. So yes, that's my official prediction. We're going to get an announcement. It's going to be met with thunderous applause, and I'm just going to laugh when it happens.
All right. Okay, question 13. Megan's second question. This is another fun one. Will improved character customization options, such as butt sliders, be revealed? I get to answer this one first.
Oh,
I do not think there's going to be a butt slider, but do I think that they are going to announce or reveal in part some more customization to take advantage of the enhanced graphics stuff that's going on? Absolutely. It would be, I feel like it's a missed opportunity if they don't do something with the improved graphical look for the models and stuff like that, if that actually is a thing in 7.0, which it appears to be based on what they said earlier. So, yes, I do think there will be more customization options. I don't think the butt slider is the one, but I do think there will be more customization options, and they will be referred at or talked about during FanFest. Sarah, butt sliders? Anything else? What you think?
Well, I was like, if there are boob sliders, who knows? Maybe they might give in to the pressure of the community and being like, okay, fine. We'll just give you this one butt slider, but I think, in fact, actually, this kind of falls in line in what I believe in terms of the the possibility of new playable races. So, I said no, that there wasn't going to be that, but I don't think that they're going to be done per se. I think their efforts are going to shift towards, of course, better player customization. So new hairs, perhaps, faces even. They could literally kind of more or less build and improve upon the current existing races of Eorzea. So now we don't have to suffer with face Lorielas and and just stuff. It's like I play an Aura in game. I love her to bits and all that stuff. But I wish, for example, the face. I wish it wasn't attached to the horn types.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so it's perhaps maybe they'll make some changes for that regard, and it's please, and it's do it for the Fantasia, guys. Your mod station is your sales are going to go through the roof. It's if you want that extra pay bonus, yeah, do it, and people will flock for the Fantasia.
I feel like they're going to give us one free one, just to check it out and change everything up to the new system how we like it. But then and everybody's gonna.
Yeah, I mean, if they add a lot of new customization options, it's been long enough. I feel like tossing everyone one Fantasia would be something that'd give people a lot of raucous approval. And I mean, isn't that kind of character glamour?
Oh, now you're stretching. You stop.
That was my question. Even I feel like that's a little bit of a stretch.
Right. All right. Ward, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think that there's room for more face features. I mean, it could even be something as simple as like giving more like lip or jaw options. Where there's only like 4 or 5 of those.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that they're going to be trying to add new sliders to like change people's eyes, change people's tail length, change people's arm length. I don't think that that's something that they're going to be introducing more options there.
I would
but
really
I definitely 100% think as a yes that they are definitely adding new options for face features.
Okay. That takes us to Zim.
I absolutely want to say yeah. Like, give me more customization, whether it's a slider. Like, can I make my nose bigger, longer? I don't care. My butt? Oh, God, what I wouldn't give for a butt. But that's not going to happen because I'm a long foul. But give me some face features. Let me make my shoulders broader. I would love some sliders in the game. So, yeah. I'm manifesting sweatiest Indian and sliders.
All right. Tetsemi answered no and added to that, sadly, no butt cleavage enhancements.
Has he seen Tubi Boots?
Brandon, what do you think?
Yes, I think we're going to see some enhancements to character creation. Butt sliders, maybe not, but it's definitely something. I tend to think the face choices are probably what's in need of the biggest amount of work, just because there's so few of them and they have so many features that are explicitly tied to specific faces that they need to work on separating out. So I think we're going to see a lot of work done there, and unfortunately, Megan will have to suffer with flat butts for another expansion at the least.
Well, and I think, to your point, I think face customization definitely should be a priority, given that, like, in the MSQ, right, when we're doing the MSQ and we're seeing scenes of our characters, more often than not, most of us are looking at our character's face and probably not our dump truck butt. So,
well, some of those angles, man.
Right.
Especially when it's, like, really dramatic and they're, like, slowly walking towards the camera and it's like, yeah, that's my butt. Good job.
All right, Megan, you get to wrap up this question. Yes or no?
I really wish that we could get butt sliders, but I think that what we might get is like a full body, like thin to thick slider,
like body style. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like that, and I would like a muscular one, and I would like them to be separate so that I could be skinny muscular or I could be thick muscular. You know,
they got that whole. A lot of games have the whole triangle thing.
Yeah, something like that. I would really like that, but I would like more body diversity within races.
Sure.
Like, that would be really nice, and but I do agree that they're probably going to focus all on the face, because this game is very face-centric, and but I think if they could bring some sliders into the face, like nose length, nose width, anything like that, it would do a lot to individualize our characters.
That's true.
Even with just the assets that they currently have. And we also know that they can make butts bigger because they made the 2B leggings, okay?
True.
And that gives everyone cake.
Not everyone.
Oh yeah, what the fuck does it look like on a Lalafell?
I got no butt. But what I do want to see, I want to go back and listen to this segment of the podcast when it's up and count how many butts, whether it's BUT or BUTT, are actually said, because that was a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of butts.
Yeah.
The ball.
Also, assets.
Oh, well played, sir. Well played.
New assets. All right. Brings us to our
cakes.
our
Lala cake. That's all she wants.
Lala cake.
Our 14th question. All right.
Has been lost to the void.
No. Now, I actually decided to redo this question because originally I did a number question about the cosplay walk, and I decided last minute to redo the question, and I even got an answer from Tetsemi for it. So, in the spirit of what we were talking about with new jobs and announcements and such, I remember one of you brought up T-shirts, and I had been thinking about T-shirts too, because Yoshi P has had a tradition of wearing shirts that often give a clue about an upcoming job announcement or some other aspect of the expansion. So, what t-shirt will Yoshi P wear during the keynote? I already know my answer. I have it locked in, but I get to say mine for the end. So, Sarah, what kind of pop culture type of t-shirt do you think Yoshi P will be wearing?
God.
I feel like we needed some prep time on this.
Right?
Yeah,
Not allowed.
like I kind of feel like it's almost like an impossible.
You know what?
question.
I'll give my answer first since I had time to think about it. To give you guys maybe a little more time to think about it. I do believe that we are getting a new job, but it's not going to be straight out revealed at this fan fest, but it will be hinted to via Yoshi P's shirt. And I do believe that Yoshi P will be wearing a shirt that everyone will recognize if you smell what The Rock is cooking. Because he will be wearing a shirt of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and you may be wondering, Brian, what does Dwayne The Rock Johnson have to do with anything in Final Fantasy XIV? That's a great question. There is a job called Geomancer out there.
Oh,
And I think a shirt about The Rock would pretty much say all you need to say.
Anyway, I have an idea.
Okay.
I think he's going to be wearing a t-shirt for the Robert Rodriguez movie El Mariachi.
El Mariachi, okay.
Which is a movie about gunslingers that carry their weapons and guitar and other instrument cases. He's going to be hinting at some sort of aiming job.
Gunslinger. I can see that.
All right. We can go out of order for this one. It's totally fine. Anyone else want to put theirs in? I'll tell you Tetsemi's. Tetsemi actually thinks that Yoshi P will be wearing a Flash t-shirt and thinks that the new job will be an elementalist. I'm a little sketchy on that one, but Flash t-shirt, hey, who knows?
Lightning bolt. I could see that too.
All right.
Anyone else? We got 4 of you left to come up with an answer for this.
Oh God.
Go, Sarah.
God, I don't think I could come up with one for this. It's definitely something that I would have to think of for quite a while, because it's I'm just kind of recalling back to when everyone saw his shirt where he was wearing the one of the Grim Reaper, but people didn't think of Reaper. Everyone was like Necromancer.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
He wore Scarlet Witch for Red Mage.
Which made sense.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of one of these things where it's like I cannot make a prediction unless I see it. Because there are so many possibilities and variables and references of which he could draw upon. And it could be a class that is indeed a part of the Final Fantasy series, or it can be a completely new job, and we're all just going to be scratching our heads. So I actually think I might pass on answering this one until, I just see his shirt.
Well, I will say this. If any of you cannot come up with an answer right now, I will give you 48 hours from the time we're recording this to submit your answer to me. So if you want to pass on it for now, that's fine.
Did anybody else play Final Fantasy VIII and the girl would shoot her dog at people?
Shoot.
Renoa.
Yeah.
Her limit break was literally shooting her dog at people.
I want a dog class. What is that?
That's Beastmaster. That's what
that'd be a Scooby-Doo shirt, right?
Or something with animals, or
that was my thing, because I feel like he's doing a lot of one about bands, so I think that they might have a t-shirt from the 60s band The Animals. And so one of their album covers.
Now you see
Beastmaster.
Okay, I was thinking, well, let's see, for Beastmaster, he could wear a shirt from the movie called The Beastmaster, but I think that's a little too on the nose.
A little too on the nose, yeah.
Oh, come on.
I feel like even The Animals is kind of a gimme.
Right?
Oh my god, what if...
So is the
like
animals...
if it was like a druid type class, he's wearing like an Animorph shirt.
That might be good.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I have no idea how he had in his brain to wear a Sam Raimi shirt, and we're supposed to get samurai from that.
That was such a Japanese way of thinking.
That was so intense. I'm like, I have no idea.
Because when you say Sam Raimi in Japanese, it's Samu Rei Mi.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's really going to throw us out of left field with this one, and we're all going to be scratching our heads for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to hope it's an animal shirt because I really want Beastmaster, but
or it's going to be like
no
Adam
idea.
something, and we're going to be like, what? And it's like, oh no, when you say it in katakana, it kind of sounds like animal.
Brandon or Zim, are either of you prepared to give a prediction yet?
I have one that I'm not confident in, but it's all I can think of.
Go
So
for it. Shoot for the moon.
I think Yoshi P will be wearing a T-shirt advertising the 2004 action film starring Hugh Jackman, Van Helsing, and it will be a reference to the fact that the forthcoming next aiming job will use a crossbow.
Well, there's also Vincent Valentine was a vampire, and like he uses guns.
Yeah, but I don't think we're going to get another kind of gun. I mean, machinist, you could like argue, is between rifles or pistols, depending on how you want to, characterize those sorts of things.
Fucking hilarious if we go to the New World, if we go to Final Fantasy America, and we meet the gunslingers, like gun culture. We learn to be a fucking cowboy.
Yeah. Two pistols, or maybe just sitting out there with a mini gun.
Two little guns. It's like you can have one big gun or you can have two little guns.
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
Zim, you didn't take your guess yet?
Yeah, I'm not. This will be like my first fan fest to actually watch, so I'm not familiar with the T-shirt reference. So thank you, everybody, for going first. I've heard about green mages in past Final Fantasy games, so I would just like to throw it out there in my wonderfully weird Zim way that he'll be wearing a Jolly Green Giant T-shirt.
Ooh,
and
nice.
go green mage. Caster.
Nice.
That's a good one.
A good one.
That's my off the wall. Thanks for thinking it's good.
I love it, and if green mage is a thing, that would be a pretty good pick. Sarah, do you still want time?
Oh God, yeah. I think I would need some time to actually.
I will give you 48 hours. You send me a message in Discord once you figured it out.
Okay.
Okay. All right, that's it for our 14 questions, but we do have a tiebreaker question that we need to come up, that we need to handle in case there is a tie in points, and it might happen. It's definitely a possibility. I wanted to have something that had a very specific number. For this answer, everyone must pick a unique answer, so if someone gives an answer, you cannot duplicate that one. We are going to go in the order of guess first, and then the rest of us. So, the question for the tiebreaker, and this only counts if there is a tie that has to be broken, otherwise it doesn't count for points. What will be the length in minutes and seconds of the new expansion teaser trailer as it is posted on the official Final Fantasy XIV YouTube channel? The reason why I say that is because the teaser trailer may be like 2:20, 2:30, and then people have questions of like, well, where do you start counting? Where do you finish counting? I understand that, so I decided the simplest way to do it is to just measure the time of the YouTube trailer. Now, that said, the YouTube version of the trailer does add a little bit of time at the part for E for everyone or whatever, and it does have a little bit of time at the end for the release date window and pre-order whatever. So there's a little bit of buffer stuff at the front and end of the trailer, but that counts for this question. So, what will be the length in minutes and seconds of the teaser trailer as it is posted on the Final Fantasy XIV YouTube channel? We will start with Ward.
I don't know why 2 minutes 17 pops in my head, because I feel like it's going to be a fairly short teaser because they have a whole lot of stuff that they're working on. So there's going to be a lot of bumper at the beginning and the teaser itself is going to be fairly short. So that's why I'm thinking only 2 minutes 17 seconds.
Okay. Zim.
God, again, I'm at an extreme disadvantage. I've never watched a teaser trailer because spoilers. But I was.
Spoilers are love. Spoilers are
I
life.
know you're so gross that way. I'm going to go 240 because it feels good.
240 is not a bad number. I will tell you why later. Tetsemi's answer was 6 minutes and 8 seconds. This guy is looking for a freaking a novel and a half, not a teaser trailer. He's saying we're just getting a flat out trailer at 6 minutes
like
8
a new
seconds.
hope right at the beginning. Jeez,
man, I would love 6 minutes and 8 seconds. I mean, a person can dream, but teaser trailer, don't think so. Sarah, what about you?
That is a good question. That really honestly depends. Because it's like, I'm recalling the Endwalker one. So, like, the Endwalker was, I would say, about 3 minutes long, but versus the full trailer, it added a, extra 3 minutes, so it was, probably a total of 6 minutes for the full trailer for Endwalker. So I think they're probably going to be around the safe, kind of zone there, around the same time, for that. But since I have to give an exact time, I am going to say that I will give it 3 minutes and 6 seconds.
All right. Brandon.
3 minutes, 14 seconds.
Son of a bitch.
Pie. Not to be confused with lala cake, but pie.
Megan.
Is that what Lalafels call cake?
I was
pie?
going to do 3 minutes and 14 seconds, but, so I guess I'll do 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Ooh.
So
Glare at each other on the timeline angrily.
So this is definitely one where, as the person who's going last, I get an advantage on this. I will say that I did my research. I came up with this question ahead of time. The teaser trailer for Endwalker was 3 minutes and 5 seconds. The full trailer was 6 minutes. And so Sarah is definitely right there. And I'm going to say I feel like less is going to be more. So I think that I'm going to go for 3 minutes flat, 3 minutes 0 seconds, and we'll see how it goes there. So, which means now that if it is longer than 3 minutes and 15 seconds, Megan gets the point. Yes, big win. I am playing fair because I'm going with pretty much the answer that I had decided before I heard everyone else's. So. I could go by Price is Right rules, but I'm not that mean a person. All right.
All of a bid.
Okay. Well, that is 14 questions in the tiebreaker, and as I expected, this was going to take 2 hours. If Tetsemi had been on here, I can only imagine. So, Tetsemi, I hope you feel better, but I do appreciate your sacrifice at the same time.
Taking one for the team.
I definitely hyped for 645, which is coming out, like I said, by the time you guys hear this. Just really, really quick around the table. Try not to take more than a minute here. What are each of you the most hyped about doing this coming week when 645 is out? Sarah?
Oh boy. So there's a lot of things. It's like I can definitely scratch Savage off. Since I don't have my own static, so I don't feel like going into Party Finder hell. I think one of the things I am looking forward to is, of course, the new Manderville, because already I have all my relics done, and I'm ready for the next step of it. And I will also apply this to the Splendor tools.
Yeah.
So
I forgot those are going up too.
Yeah, super excited for those.
All right. Ward, what about you?
Oh, I am interested to see what our new. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the name of the whole system. Whole system that got introduced a couple of patches ago that we all played for like 3 weeks. There we go, Criterion Dungeon. We all played it for 3 weeks. Thought it was really cool. Unlocked all
And
the
then the
things.
rewards
All
sucked.
playing it. I am so excited to go back to there for another 3 weeks and then proceed to just completely forget it exists. Thank you for reminding me what it's actually called.
Right? Zim.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna get up Tuesday morning. I've closed the suds, and I just want some oily Manderville mussels.
Of course,
That's
you
it.
do.
Of course, I do.
I don't know Tetsemi's answer, so we won't know what he was looking forward to. Brandon, what you doing on Tuesday or the first chance you get the new patch?
I don't know. None of the systems being introduced in this patch particularly interests me. So I guess it'll probably be Hildebrand, just so I can see what the grind for the next stage of the relic is, and if I really want to invest the time into it.
Come on, we all know it's
Spoilers,
1,500 tomestones. It's 1,500. It's going to be 1,500 causality. It's not even close. Like it can't be anything but that. And people are going to talk about it for a week about, oh, why is it causality, blah, 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 and then they'll forget about it a week later.
I hope you're right, because that seems like a grind I can actually, do without wanting to not, play the game anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also not looking forward to, there's a few people I play this game with that will literally lose their minds if it's just another tombstone grind. Not looking forward to basically dealing with that.
Expect people to lose their minds, because I would say the odds of that being the case are about 95%. Megan, how about you?
Definitely Manderville, just because I want to know what insanity we're going to be doing next. That's probably the
How
first
did
thing I
they
have to do.
top the last one? How?
I don't know. They're going to find a way. It's going to be more like incredibly realistic animation that just creeps into my brain meats and stays there, wiggling. And but I also, really want to go do the new dungeon thing, and I'm sure that me and Ward will be doing that together at some point. Maybe some of you guys can come along. I don't know. We'll see. We're also trying out, or we're in a new raid group, and hopefully that goes well. We're literally going to be doing that tonight. So wish us luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's going to be Variant Dungeons, and Manderville, it's 1A and 1B. Variant Dungeons is 1A, Manderville is 1B, and at some point I will check out the Blue Mage stuff, but there's so many other things I'm working on between Triple Triad things and all that. Oh, by the way, I got my 4 million MGP 4-player airship mount.
Congratulations.
That was a grind. I have a new target to set my sights on, and I still haven't figured out what that will be. Definitely looking forward to a new patch. We'll be talking about that in a couple weeks to be sure, but we are going to wrap things up for now. Sera, thank you for being on. If there's any socials, links, or anything you want to toss out, if people want to find you or connect with you, feel free to give them.
I'm a little shy when it comes to that. So it's like, I have been so busy IRL, so I kind of have like nothing going on, but I have been doing things on like the sides. I've been helping to run the venues the Honeybee Inn. So considering how big the venue is, perhaps people are very familiar with that one. And I also help to take charge of another called Sector 7. So,
Nice.
So yeah, you like any role player on like Crystal or those who are on the other data centers and whatnot will definitely kind of find me at either one or two places. So
sounds good. Ward, if people want to find you, that all they have to do is see you on Megan's stream, pretty much.
That is pretty much it. I'm that fuzzy one that just sits over her shoulder, just whispering those things into your ear. Yes, press the button. Press the big button.
You're the one who's like, hey, you want to play No Man's Sky? And I'm like, okay.
Zim, how about you? You want to talk about sweeping suds or anything?
Sure. I am on Twitter with Zimmy. It's what am I? Zimzimty. That's ZIMZAMTEA. You can find my card linked in the bio. And most Tuesday mornings, again, not this Tuesday because oil muscles. Most Tuesdays, I'm open very early, 7 a.m. Pacific for a bell. And we do laundry RP and roll a horrible amount of natural ones. It's ungodly. It's not fair. And I don't know how I'm still in business.
Brandon, where can people find you and your shenanigans?
I would normally interject with my Twitter at this point, but due to things, Twitter use for me has plummeted to non-existence. So all of my socials are linked on bio.link/thebmat, THEBMATT. Most often these days, you can find me active on Tumblr, doing random Final Fantasy XIV reblogs or other nonsense.
All right. You can also catch him on a podcast called Plus 5 to Hit, where I'm the DM and he's one of the players. And we got another episode of that recording in like almost a little over 24 hours from now, and I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah. Megan, you've got quite a few things going on. When you're not taking care of your fur babies, how can people find you?
You can find me. I'm Cat Mom Megan, all one word. Megan is MEAGAN. I'm on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 3 p.m. Pacific until 5 p.m. Pacific. You can also find my stream clips on TikTok, which is also Cat Mom Megan. I'm still on Twitter, Cat Mom Megan, but every now and then I post a couple cat pictures, but you'll see more cat videos on my TikTok than on my Twitter. And but my Tumblr is linked from my Twitter. So I don't know, I should probably change my Tumblr to Cat Mom Megan too. I haven't yet. It's the same one I've had since I was like in high school. So but yeah, come join me for stream. Right now we're streaming Soma, which is a sci-fi horror video game that is more about the existential horror, like what is being alive. And also I just gremlin around looking through everybody's stuff because, it's a horror game. All the humans are dead. So I'm just looking through all their drawers and putting their bras on my head and sniffing their shoes.
Oh my god.
All right. As for myself, you can find me on Twitter for the time being at PodcasterRho. That's Podcaster RHO. You can email us at apodcastreborn@gmail.com. You can also find us at Twitter currently at apodcastreborn. We are a part of Bonus Roll Productions. You can find us at bonusroll.gg. Quick reminder, a couple weeks from now is FanFest itself. I am planning to record a post-FanFest episode. I don't know the entire logistics of it yet. Megan and Ward have the time of your lives there. That both of them will be actually going to FanFest in person. So is John Jagger. I'm hoping the three of you get to bump into each other and take a picture or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And we will try to have a post-FanFest episode. I don't know if if we'll go over the prediction results on that one or not, but Brandon and I will be at home for FanFest, so I imagine it'll be Brandon and I with Megan and Ward if they are able to record from from where they're staying at. If not, then we may just have a guest on for immediate post-reaction. So check back with us in a couple weeks. We'll see where things are going there. But for now, that's going to do it for episode 39. Music for the show. I don't know which music I'm using for this episode. So suffice to say, any Final Fantasy music that you hear on this podcast that's derivative of it does belong to Square Enix, and no copyright infringement is intended. Thank you all again for being on the show, and thanks to all of you listening for downloading us and listening to us. So for Sera, for Ward, for Zim, for Megan, Brandon, Tetsemi, Butterscotch, and Bon Bon, and everyone else out there, this is Brian Black. Until next time, may your loot rolls be high, your glamour fantastic, and your duties always complete. Brandon.
I always wondered what it is scholars actually studied, so one day I asked one of them. Turns out, it's physics. Brandon, yes.
my brand in my head, I can just see the slow casting, the physics, and the number of like 150. That's it. That's all you get.
I better have it on my bar.